Good day, everyone. Today we're going to discuss about the equation with the imaginary roots. The roots of the auxiliary equation are imaginary and non-repeated. Let's say a plus bi and a minus bi are part of the solution y is equal to c sub 1 times a raised to ax times cosine bx plus c sub 2 times e raised to ax times sine bx. Problem number 1 is d squared minus 2d plus 5 times y is equal to 0. First, we need to rewrite it into an auxiliary equation which gives us to m squared minus 2m plus 5 is equal to 0. To find the roots, we need to use the quadratic formula. M is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Substituting the values into the equation, we get m is equal to negative times negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 5 all over 2 times 1. We get the roots of the equation into m is equal to 1 plus or minus 2i. We get the value of a is equal to 1 and b is equal to positive 2. We need to write the answer in the form of y is equal to c sub 1 e raised to ax cosine bx plus c sub 2 times e raised to ax sine bx. So we get, by substituting the values a and b, we get y is equal to c sub 1 e raised to x cosine 2x plus c sub 2 e raised to x times sine 2x. We can factor out the e raised to x. We get y is equal to e raised to x times the quantity c sub 1 cosine 2x plus c sub 2 sine 2x. Problem number 2 is d cubed plus 1 times y is equal to 0. First, we need to rewrite the equation into auxiliary equation, which gives us to m cubed plus 1 is equal to 0. We get the factor of m cubed plus 1 into m plus 1 times m squared minus m plus 1 is equal to 0. Equate m plus 1 to 0, we get m sub 1 is equal to negative 1. Next is we need to use the quadratic formula to find the other roots. M is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Substitute the values into the equation, we get m is equal to negative times negative 1 plus or minus the square root of negative 1 squared minus 4 times 1 times 1 all over 2 times 1. We get the values of 1 half plus or minus the square root of 3 over 2 times I. The value of a is equal to 1 half, the value of b is equal to the square root of 3 over 2. Substituting the values of a and b, we get y is equal to c sub 1 e raised to negative x plus the quantity c squared times e raised to 1 half cosine the square root of 3 over 2 plus c sub 3 times e raised to 1 half sine the square root of 3 over 2. We can factor out e raised to 1 half in the equation. We get c sub 1 e raised to negative x plus e raised to 1 half times the quantity c squared cosine the square root of 3 over 2 plus c sub 3 sine the square root of 3 over 2.